Hello, what is poppin' YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here. It has been a while since I've been in front of the camera with you guys. So, what are we doing? I have 3 deck profiles. They're going to come out in spurts. These are decks that I played within the past few weeks. And the first one is definitely a deck that I was I'm not going to say that much more excited to play, because there's actually a deck I played last week that I was actually more excited to play than this one right here. But 2 of these lists are second place lists. The other one, not so much, but there was a whole lot to be learned. The deck wasn't even close to being finished, but it still performed very, very nicely. And you would actually be surprised as to what deck that could possibly be. Stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, this deck right here is featuring... This is the second place list, being Tri-Brigade Luna-Light. Yes, I have not... It's been a while since I played Luna-Light, okay? Alright. The Mauser does essentially everything for you. You don't have to... Mauser makes it to where you no longer have to hard draw into Tri-Brigade engine anymore. And that is a beautiful thing. And I will showcase a combo tutorial at the end of the profile, so... with that being said, enough of the talk, guys. Let's go. Alrighty, folks. Starting this profile off, we're doing the normal summon of the deck. 3 Gold Leos. Most should already know what this does, but in case you don't, it's got 2 separate effects. On normal or special, you can add a Luna card from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Second effect, if a Luna card has been sent to the graveyard, you can take that said Luna that was sent to the graveyard and add it back to your hand. So those are the 2 effects you got going on there. That is the normal summon. And we are still on 3 Luna-Light Tigers. I'm just gonna note this now. I have not seen any other Luna-Light list since the new support came out. I never really studied what they were playing and all this stuff, right? I've like seen a couple of duels like online here and there, but that's about it. So I don't know if they're on 1 Tiger, 2 Tiger, 3 Tigers. I don't know. All I know is I've played Luna-Light plenty of times, and I know you still kind of want to open this card. Regardless. If you don't get to this, like, you're not really making plays happen, so... Yeah. I mean, I typically don't regret seeing this card, so... There's that. Alright, 2 Kaleido Chicks. We don't necessarily need 3. We have plenty of ways to get to it now, thanks to the new support. Silverhound and things like that via Gold Leo. So opening it is still decent as well. Speaking of Silverhound, we got 1 Silverhound. We're going to do some 1-0s. We got 1 Yellow Martin because it still just does good things. Emerald Bird is not as good as it used to be, and honestly, one could even make the argument that it's cuttable. However, dang, this card is so good in the grind game, especially when you're going up against Draco Tail all the time. So, and it's a neat target to send. It's not a bad normal summon either. It gets some of the stuff out of your hand, trades even for more cards, look for starters and stuff. So yeah, 1 Black Sheep and 1 Wolf. Wolf is kind of there for if Black Sheep is getting like interacted with. Right? Obviously, I'm pretty sure most people know this by now. If you're playing Luna-Light, if you have Ash or something, always hold it for Black Sheep, because, I mean, the fusion plays can't happen if they can't get to Poly. So, yeah. But yeah, Wolf is in case I can't get to Poly because they stopped me from getting access to Black Sheep. So Wolf is kind of there to subsidize the play anyway. So... There's that. That's it for the Luna cards. Oh yeah, my bad. The honorary Yellow Martin right here, Zephyros Elite. Went into it most matches or most games. Now for the Tri-Brigade engine. Fractals. Man, being able to Foolish Silverhound with this card is actually nice. I didn't think it would be like that great, but it turned out to be pretty freaking solid. But also, you know, if you're just getting interacted with a whole bunch, you just kind of discard this and just go for Tri-Brigade Engine, and it kind of, you know, it's like the Lunalights kind of put like the wedge in the wood and all that, and then the Fractal is like the axe that just hits the wedge and splits the wood in half, more or less. It's also a level 4, which is also important because of the rank 4s. So yeah, 2 Tri-Brigade kits, 2 Nervals. Playing him in multiples, I actually like him in multiples. One, because the Luna cards do some discarding and stuff now. One from Gold Leo and one from like Masquerade. So if they are in your hand, you could get access to Tri-Brigade Engine anyway. Even if these are in your hand, like you can kind of just unclog them. So yeah. And 1 Curious. Curious is actually really solid due to being able to consistently discard Zephyros out of your hand and be able to extend some more. So yeah. Now for these spells, we got 3 Masquerade. For those of you who are unaware of this card, on activation, it's not on activation, but during the main phase, if you activate the card this turn, you can Foolish a Luna monster from your deck to the graveyard. It has another effect to where if you fusion summon a Luna monster, you can add a poly from Grave or Banishment to your hand, then discard a card, and then only once if you fuse again. For Luna, you could banish, also banish Luna monsters from your graveyard. So yeah, this card is also a starter within itself, being able to also send Silverhound to the graveyard. And alongside that, we have 3 more starters, being Fire Formation Tenkies, because guess what? We can add Gold Leo, we can add Kaleido Chick if we already see Tiger and we don't, you know, and we're not that confident in terms of like, hey, they may have a whole bunch of interactions. So if I summon Gold Leo and it gets interacted with, this Tiger in hand is useless. But if I summon Kaleido Chick, it's still pretty freaking good. So yeah, 3 Tenkies, nice. And it also gets Fractal, so that's never a bad thing. Next, we have 3 Perfumes. Lunalight Perfumes are still really strong because they're not once per turn. These cards not being once per turn, cards like this, cards like Kaleido Chick, Tiger, these cards not being once per turn are the reason why this deck can play through interactions pretty reliably. Like very reliably can it play through interactions because it just keeps going. You know, they interact with you, they get rid of your Kaleido Chick, okay, it's just like, okay, bounce it. Bounce the Tiger, summon, Foolish some more cards, keep pushing, keep playing, and you're good. Loose cards, we got the Poly Search for Black Sheep. Serenade Dance, in case we already have Masquerade, you know, Serenade Dance is just another extender. And a Luna card that you could discard off of, you know, Emerald Bird to draw, or any of the other Luna cards, such as Gold Leo or Masquerade. And Revolt. I looked at the new Super Rare Tri-Brigade card, and it's like, okay. I think Revolt is still a little bit better, though. I think the spell card is only good if you plan to activate it that turn, that you get it to your hand. But chances are, you don't really need it. Not in this format. Or not when you got Lunas, like, being able to just essentially just throw everything at the opponent and just bait everything out anyway. So, yeah. This is a 44 card list, by the way. For non-engine, we are on 3 Fuas. Yeah, 3 Fuas. Perulia's at 3. Honestly, Perulia wasn't that great, and the Perulias were always sided out. I always sided them out like every time. Honestly, the Perulias are probably better off just being something else. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else I would actually put in its place, but maybe I would just do talents or something. But the problem with talents is my extra deck isn't like the most generic. So if I need to take something, it's not going to serve me much of a purpose all that often. So that's something that I'm just not too... Oh, well, talents is at 1 anyway, but still. Next, the last few cards is, let's see, 3 droplets. This card definitely did something. It did a lot. This card did more than what I expected it to do. So I'm glad I kept it. So that was cool. And call by for the last one. So yeah, again, 44 card lists. That was the main deck. We can do extra now. Alright, let's start with the Lunas, right? First, we got Perfume Dancer. That's typically going to be the first extra deck monster you go into if you're going first. So, yeah. For those of you who don't know, on Fusion Summon or Special Summon, on Fusion Summon you can add a Luna-Light Perfume. So Perfume is now searchable. Thank God. That being searchable, it just makes the deck so much more resilient to interactions. If you can summon this and actually resolve it, you're playing through everything. So, yeah. So not only can you add Perfume, but it also has another effect where you can bounce a face-up Luna card on the field, and you can summon a Luna-Light from your hand. So, it's essentially another Yellow Martin / Zephyros Elite where you just have yet another bounce for your Luna-Light Tiger to keep playing it and keep summoning monsters and keep pushing. Leo Dancer, you need it. You gotta play it for the new Liger Dancer, or new-esque Liger Dancer, because Liger Dancer needs specifically Leo Dancer plus 3 other Luna monsters to make. And yeah, Liger Dancer being in towers is very, very nice. And also Regeki. We have a send target for it, so we can send we have multiple ways to send sometimes, depending on what the matchup is, but it's not really the most reliable, right? You don't want to like foolish things with like pendulums, like tigers, other tigers, and like wolf with Kaleido chicks to bring them back and then link them off. So now you have other extra deck Lunas you can send. Like, you can do that, right? It's not the most reliable though. But anyway, that is it for fusions. Actually, we do not play double Liger Dancer because honestly, we don't need to play double Liger Dancer. It's not even needed, which is crazy to think about. Yeah. Arms Mauser, this card, again, it essentially just plays the game for you. Like, the moment you make this, you just kind of go on autopilot and you're just chilling. So, for those of you who don't know what this does, it's a link that you want to link summon instead of summoning with the Tri-Brigades. It takes 2 of any Tri-type, Beast, Beast-Warrior, Wing Beast, and on link summon, you can send up to 2 Tri-Brigade monsters, or Tri-Brigade cards. I'm pretty sure Tri-Brigade cards. Let's take a look-see. Focus. You bastard. Of course you won't let me focus. Okay, that's fine. If this card's linked summon, you can send 2 Tri-Brigade cards with different names for your deck and or extra deck to the graveyard. So, the fact that you can make this and send things like Bucephalus to Singuru draw 1 is pretty nice, but obviously the more important thing is you can send Tri-Brigade Kit to send Nerval to add a Tri-Monster to your hand, so now you have full access to your Tri-Brigade engine. And if this is sent from, if this is just sent to the graveyard, you can also book a Muna card, which that effect definitely comes in handy when you summon it back with Revolt. So, yeah, again, this card just kind of plays the game for you. 1 Baron Blossom, or Farigite, for those that want to be technical. 1 Bear Broom. You can also just send that straight from the extra deck off of Mauser. 2 Omens. The Omens are still pretty nice. I've kind of been back and forth on 1 Omen and 1 what was it, Rugal? Because a Rugal provides bodies that can go back to your hand, and essentially you kind of get a little bit of you're getting follow-up from it, right? And it doesn't just give you follow-up, but if you have that with Omen, you're getting like reliable banishes on the opponent's turn, right? After you use your Revolt, like if you don't have a Revolt, how else are you summoning any Beast or Wing Beast on your opponent's turn? You're probably not, unless you're playing the right extra deck for it. But anyway, Double Dragon Lawrence, we went into this like every other game, and it was always good every time we went into it. SP, I made this maybe once, and it wasn't even that great when I made it. So that is going to be the card I cut, because there is one monster that I noticed that I really missed in my extra deck the entire time. So I will show you what that is once I'm done with the rest of the extra deck. Baguska, I ended on, if I full combo, I will end on it and essentially win the game. 4 Strix for Searching Zephyros, and it's a tri-type to make Mouser with later afterwards. Emerald is important for the grind game. A lot of these decks can do some serious grinding, and obviously with Lunas and Tries, you can burn through a lot of your stuff. So you need this to kind of recycle some of your extra deck cards, so you always have things to go back into. And we have Eclipse Twins as well to consistently recycle the Emerald when we need to, which I have made a lot because I played a lot of grind games. I swear, Draco Tail is like my worst offender with this deck. Like, so I'm gonna tell you, the one monster I severely missed was Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragon was something I was just really wishing I had access to in the extra deck, not just for the Draco Tail matchup, but for just for the utility of being able to pop my own Moonlight Tigers, so I can have more fuel for Liger Dancer, because a lot of times the one Regeki isn't enough oftentimes, especially with the decks that have multi-layered like interactions from hand, field. Yeah, you can nuke the field, but if they still have stuff in their hand where they can make some plays on the follow-up turn, being like Draco Tails and stuff like that, you know, you're gonna need more Regekis than just the one. And that Tornado Dragon, yeah, being able to not only put Tiger in the extra deck, but the Tiger can also get the Reborn when it's destroyed, triggering Omen as well. I missed so many Omen effects on the opponent's turn because I didn't have a way to consistently put something up. So yeah, Tornado Dragon 100% would replace the SP. That's it for the extra deck. The side deck wasn't even a finished side deck. I had like 8 cards or 9 cards or some shit like that, right? Yeah, you guys might be surprised, but we were on 3 Zooking Alphas in the side deck, along with 3 of these, you know, Loyal Guanyin Ancient Warriors. These cards put in a lot of work. They put in a lot of work. These guys essentially put in a lot of pressure in ways that I didn't think was possible, right? For starters, Zooking Alpha not starting a chain and just being a body on board against Yummy, just chef's kiss, right? You can keep this on the board and you can extend a decent amount with Lunas, and you can just kind of bounce your opponent's entire field. Because here's the thing, right? I know it's been a while since anybody has seen this card, but for those of you who don't know, you can target any number of Beast Warrior, and or Wing Beast you control, and on res, you return them to the hand, then you can bounce an equal number of cards on your opponent's board. So, against Yummy specifically, you know how people like to chain their snatchies and chain their tag outs and shit like that? Doesn't matter because this doesn't target. It does not target, and so even if they summon out the snatchies and all that stuff, guess what? Now the snatchy goes back to the extra deck. You know, hopefully they don't have another one. If they do, then they do. But you know, if you bounce like their entire field, you know, like I like to bounce like snatchy plus their, like, if they have any set cards, because the set card could easily be a yummy surprise. So if you turn off surprise and you turn off snatchy, guess what? No more interactions. So yeah, that definitely won me a game or two. This card though, being an Ancient Warrior, this is like a baby Pankratops, but it's better. It's only in this case. Only in this case because, okay, so if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card. And you can do this as many times you want. This has been bounced before, and I was just kind of, and it got bounced by Arthalion. I would just reveal summon it again. And once per turn, if your opponent controls more monsters than you, which is almost all the time, you can target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it, right? And it's not a quick effect, but why is this better in this deck specifically? Well, because Double Dragon Lords is in the deck, and you can hard make it with the Loyal Guangyong after you already use its effects and everything, and all he takes is 2 Beast Warriors, including 1 Wind Ancient Warriors, and guess what Lunas are? All the Lunalights are Beast Warriors. So I took full advantage of that fact to where I can have a Pankratops that can apply pressure. Its attack stats are pretty good. It's 2,500 stats. I can run over some shit. I can extend with Lunas. I can make Double Dragon Lords now instead of having to cheat it out with Tri-Brigade stuff. And it's amazing. Like, I love this. I love this card. It's specifically in Lunas though. But yes, opening 1-1, I did that against like the Draco Tail. Going second, I got Lancia, and I'm like, I kid you not, these 2 cards was just my saving grace. The fact that I just had these in my opener was just, it saved my ass. It was so nice. But anyway, the last couple cards on the side, again, this is not a complete side deck, I just didn't have enough time. 2 Drolls, if I found a third one, I would have played the third one. And I played Ptolemaeus and Durindal. I did this specifically to counteract like Fuas and any other Charmies. Also, if I knew I was going first, I would just take out the Perulias at the very least, because even if Fua is dead, at least it's a Wing Beast that you can discard with Karis, and it's a Tri-type that you can banish to summon Tri-Brigades. So anyway, guys, that is it for the deck. Again, I got second place. My matchups were 3 Draco Tails, a Yummy, and I don't even remember what the 5th round match guy was, but no, this deck put in work. But anyway, guys, we're going straight to the combo tutorial now, because I did mention a combo. So let's go ahead and make it happen.